Hello friends, welcome to my channel ELS English Literature Studies with Kaur Harpreet. Today's topic is going to be very interesting. Today I will discuss names of some great satirists with their works, right? Firstly, I decided to give list of all satirists in one video, but as I started my topic, it was not possible to discuss them all in one video. So I decided that I will discuss this video in 2-3 parts. So let us start with the first part. Today I will discuss only 10 satirists, right? First of all, I would like to discuss about Geoffrey Chaucer, and when we talk about his satirical work, we have the Canterbury Tales and the Parliament of Fowls, right? Chaucer, as a satirist, he was the master of style, and the Canterbury Tales by him are written towards the end of the 14th century. It is sometimes taken for granted that the satirist speaks in his own voice, and his reference to his experiences and his feelings are considered as record of his personal life. But when Chaucer wrote, there was no tradition of personal poetry. In his poetry, there is I, which belongs to the tradition of characters in dream visions, rather than depicting his own, we can say, talking about himself, right? Uh, Geoffrey Chaucer is a satirical while he describes about those who travelled on a pilgrimage together in the Canterbury Tales. In his poetry, particularly the Canterbury Tales, Chaucer satirizes all classes of life. He includes the peasants, the knightly class, and he especially satirizes the church. There are many, when you will read the Canterbury Tales, you will find there are many impressive attitudes in the Canterbury Tales, right? Then we have William Langland. He was probably a poor lay priest whose life was governed by only two motives. He has only two motives in his life. First was his passion for the poor, and second was his longing for all knowledge, right? And his chief poem, Piers the Plowman, it is a series of visions in which he portrayed the follies and impostures of the age and the misery of the common people. It is considered by many critics to be one of the greatest works of English literature of the Middle Ages, even preceding and influencing Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, right? William Langland's Piers the Plowman also contains the first known reference to a literary tradition of Robin Hood tales. Then we have on number 3 Ben Jonson. Ben Jonson is already discussed many times on my channel, so I will talk about it in brief. Ben Jonson, known as an English playwright, and he's best known for his star comedies. He is remembered as an immensely learned man, and he was next to Shakespeare. Shakespeare, who is known as the greatest dramatic genius of the English Renaissance, right? As I talked about style in my previous video, that one of the purpose of the style is to bring about social change, and by focusing on the possibilities for changing the upper classes, Johnson implies that positive change may be achieved through his satiric comedies. When we talk about his works, we have A Tale of Tub, then Isle of Dogs, then we have Every Man in His Humor, Out His Humor, then we have his works like Volpone, that is already discussed in question answers forms. Then The Silent Woman, then Bartholomew Fair, The Devil is an Ass, The Staple of the News, and how I can forget about The Alchemist, right? The title The Alchemist refers to the transformation of base materials into precious ones. But the play's content implies exactly the reverse. The elites transform themselves into lowly people through their behavior, not through their inborn status, right? They transform themselves into lowly people through their behavior, through their etiquettes and manners. Another aspect of Ben Jonson's style is religion, because the heightened conflicts among Catholics and different Protestants was an ongoing issue in the early 17th century. So John Starr is other aspect of his style is religion, right? Then we have on number 5 Samuel Butler. He is a poet and satirist. He is famous as the author of Hudibras, the most memorable burlesque poem in the English language, right? And the first English star to make a notable and successful attack on ideas rather than on personality. Samuel Butler was also influenced by satirists such as John Skelton, and he was also influenced by Paul Scarons, who wrote a star on classical literature, particularly Virgil. When we talk about Hudibras, it was reprinted many times in the centuries following his death. It is directed against religious sectarianism, and the poem was very popular in its time. It was very popular to imitators. In Hudibras, Samuel Butler takes some of its characterization from Don Quisto, but unlike that work, it has many more references to personalities and events of the day. Then on number 5 we have Dryden. Dryden is again discussed many times on my channel, so I will talk about Dryden in brief as a satirist. When we talk about Dryden as a satirist, he wrote only two great original stars, Macflackney and the Medal. His most famous poem, Absalom and Achitophel, contains several brilliant satiric portraits, but unlike Star, it comes to a final tragic resolution. Then we have Alexander Pope. Again, Alexander Pope is discussed in my videos, and question answers or on the rape of the lock are discussed. This will be very helpful for MS students because answers are full-fledged answers are given. So those who are interested, they can also refer to those videos. When we talk about Alexander, he is best known for his satirical verses. He is considered among the greatest satirists in English literature. And when we talk about his great styles, these are like Essay on Criticism, the Epilogue, the Prologue, the Dunciad, Moral Essay, the Rape of the Lock. These are considered the best in the 18th century. Next we have Matthew Prior. He is an English poet and diplomat. He is best known for his humorous works, including The Country Mouse and The City Mouse, a star of John Dryden's Hind and the Panther. Then Edward Young. Number 8 is Edward Young. He was an English poet, critic, philosopher and theologian. Best remembered for his work Night Thoughts. And this is the work, the Night Thoughts that made him famous. Number 9 we have Robert Blair. He was a Scottish poet. His fame rests upon his poem The Grave. He is primarily renowned for his work The Grave, right? And the poem contains 767 lines, and it is an exemplar of what known as the school of graveyard poetry. Graveyard poetry is already discussed with some other terms, so I will try to find its link for your convenience. And on number 10 I have Dr. Samuel Johnson. Dr. Samuel Johnson's satirical work are The Vanity of Human Wishes and London. And when we talk about The Vanity of Human Wishes, it is a representation of Augustan literature which acted as a literary extension of the Enlightened period, right? It is a juvenile style. Now what is juvenile style? That is already discussed in previous video. Horatian and juvenile style both are discussed there, right? And his another work London, which is produced by him shortly after he moved to London. That was written in 1738 and it was his first major published work, right? And so friends, I have discussed only 10 satirists, great satirists today. Rest of them will be discussed in my upcoming videos, and I hope you will like my content. And if you like it, please hit the like button, share and subscribe my channel. And if you are new my channel, please hit the bell button so that you can get notifications for my upcoming videos. And thanks a lot for watching.